Hello and welcome back to the journey. This is finally the promised video about damn, that looks terrible. What is this? Yeah. It's way too late. It's 1:20 in the morning. I worked on it until I guess probably half an hour ago, but yeah, the rest was just wasted time. Anyways, I'll get right into it. So, I will, after I've finished presenting this, if you have any suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments for me to include them in this. But this is just the dashboard that I will use to calculate win rates with certain confluences and such. Basically, just to track or collect my data when trading. I'll go over it really quick. So in the top row, we have just stuff explaining where to put what. So we have the dates here, then this will be for the month of August. I've prepared it for that because I won't do one whole thing just for July when it's already the 27th because I don't see any use in doing that. Anyways, then we have the number of trades, win rate, risk to reward. Did you follow your daily bias, yes or no? Was there a liquidity sweep or a continuation of trend? Was there a break of structure? And then we get into the confluences. So was there an order block? Let's say yes, and then also here, and then also here. Then if you say yes, there was an order block on all these three things. Now we see how my win rate with order blocks was. So now everywhere where I've put one, let's say two of these trades were winners. So I put one here, 0 here because this one was a trade with an order block, but I lost it, then one here. And then in the end, it will calculate and say that my win rate when using order blocks is 2/3. Yeah, and then that works for, or yeah, I'll get to how that works later. Then we have breaker blocks, fair value gaps, inverse fair value gaps, and equilibrium, and that's just all the confluences I use. This one not so much, but most of them I use pretty frequently. Anyway, so we always have here the basic strategy, which is daily bias, liquidity sweep, or continuation of trend on a higher time frame, break of structure, and then confluence. Then after each confluence, we have the win rate with said confluence. So if my win rate with an order block is 80%, but with a breaker block it's only, let's say 15, I might just stop using breaker blocks as my confluence. That's how that is supposed to be used. Now, what do you put in all these cells? That's also simple. Let's say you took a trade on the 1st of August. You're gonna put 1. Let's say you place 2 trades and then on the 1st of August you put 2. If you don't take any trades on the 1st of August, you put 0. It's a bit different for, let's say, your order blocks. If you took a trade with an order block, you press 1. If you don't, you press 0. But you only press 0 if you already, or if you did take a trade on that day, because if you didn't take a trade, that would mess up the calculations. So if you take a trade, you put 1 in the cell if the trade worked out, and you put 0 if it didn't. So let's say I take a trade here, 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 and here. and then let's say this one was lost, but this one was won, this one was won, and this one was won. So we can say that out of 100 of my or out of all of my trades, every single one of them was 100% of the trades were taken with a order block. Now we go to the win rate. Let's say also here I didn't take any of these. Now we don't put anything in here because we didn't take a trade with the order block that day. But now for every time where you mark out a confluence, you go to the win rate section right next to it, and then you enter if it was a win or no, and then it will calculate the same thing. Let's say my percentage of order block usage is 80%, and then of my order block win rates, I win 80% of those. That's just how this works. And then, yeah. Now let me quickly get rid of this. Now here, that's just where all the infos will be displayed. So after you've finished just putting in all the data that you did, let's say you took one trade, it was a winner, 2 RR, you followed your daily bias, break of structure, all of that. By the way, at least these 3, so you followed your daily bias, there was a liquidity sweep or continuation of the trend, and there was a break of structure. These 3 should always be marked, because if not, you can just basically stop trading for the day because you clearly didn't follow your strategy if you don't follow your base principles. But everything else you don't need to check off every day. And now finally these things here below. So obviously for the number of trades, you only need the sum. So if I go, say, 1 trade here, 1 trade here, 2 trades here, 1 trade here, in the end it's gonna show me 5 because I took 5 trades. That's why here it's only showing the sum. For a win rate, it's a bit different because this first thing calculates the sum of all of your trades. So let's say you take 1 trade a day, and then you have 2 trades. You have 1 and 0. So it's gonna show 1 because that is the sum. That is your that's the sum of these 2 things. Now this here, just as I've written it down, this just basically calculates how many cells were filled with any sort of text. So if I put 1 and 0 here, it's gonna give me 2. If I put X, it's also gonna give me 2 because that's not a number. And then this last one here, that's just the average. Because if we calculate this, the base term for this is just this number divided by this number, and then you get your average win rate, your average percentage of how many times you use an order block, of how many times you win with your order block. But yeah, that's just this dashboard broken down simply. Obviously you can adjust it. Let's say you have some more confluences, you just go like this, and then in the end this will be copied here automatically, so you don't even have to add any new terms. That will all be automatically done for you. This is just everything I use, but as I said, if you need some more, you can just add one, and then the Excel or Apple numbers will just automatically fill in all of the terms. You don't need to do anything more. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think I talked a bit too much. So sorry about that, but yeah, this is it. Feel free to use it. Feel free to give me any feedback if you like some more. If you want me to add something, or if you say, hey, you can calculate this much easier. But this is what I've come up so far. Yeah, and then see you in the vlog, and after that, see you tomorrow.